Hello there, welcome to today's stream. Yes, we're a bit all over the place. Yes, we're going to be doing that thing called, what's that thing called again? Football diagnosis. Yes, those are taking a look at your tactics today, the tactics you guys have submitted. Hopefully, we get a bunch of interesting tactics in from you guys. Yeah, but I kind of like roll right into the stream without much of a countdown, which is kind of strange. So to those who just popped into the stream, thank you very much. To those who aren't here yet, well, don't worry, I'm still around. I'll be here streaming and helping you guys out. Yes, we've got a couple of tactics here today. And then I also have a post on the forums in case you guys are wondering. It's basically what are your best and worst features of FM24, stuff you want to see on FM26. Yeah, it's a simple post where I talk about my the features that I kind of like in Football Manager and stuff I don't like. Essentially, if I'm looking at the game from a really simple point of view, tactical immersion is something I've always enjoyed in Football Manager. The ability to feel that your tactics mean something and you're doing something with those tactics, and then of course customization. If you've been playing the game for a long time, then suddenly you want a fresh new look. You can always download the skin and pop it in, and it gives it a fresh look. It's a small thing, but it actually is quite impactful for quite a number of people. Then there are stuff, and I didn't list them down as stuff that I didn't like. Like, for example, set pieces. I think set pieces are too powerful in Football Manager. Yeah, they're way too powerful. And there are all kinds of set pieces that need to be addressed. And I'm hoping that as I do look at these in the future, network play, many options are missing from network play. The reason why I don't play network play is because I can't boot out somebody or turn somebody, take over from them and set them to holiday mode. When they suddenly decide, they have to make a coffee and they're taking longer than normal. So these kind of things, the handshakes are taking too long, but that's largely due to the servers and networks. So that one is beyond SI's control in terms of how much infrastructure they might need. So network play is generally about controlling non-existent players that come in and take too long. So timeouts, more flexible ways of setting timeouts, and just the ability to put someone on holiday mode without you having. It's easier. Give us an option to find an easier way to set them on holiday mode. Basically, that's all I think we need. International management, oh my goodness. I don't play international management because it's boring. There's nothing to do outside the window, competition windows, and you can't train the players. You can't do much with it. In fact, what happened to me once was quite strange. The under-21 coach wasn't around, and I ended up being the under-21 international manager along with the international manager for the senior team, something I didn't appreciate. More work, right? So then, of course, the squad planner. I think the squad planner right now is a placeholder. I think we can do more with it. Allows the option of, putting in stats that matter to us. Like give us some customizability with the squad planner. But that's just those are the simple things I put in. I'm just hoping. I really want your feedback, right? So you come back, you tell me what you think, and from there we can, hopefully get some eyes on the subject. I'm sure that people have done it. I know that other people are doing it on Twitter and everywhere else, or Twitch. We might do a show on this. I might do one, and then if I'm doing a show on this, I will, we might just dive into the game a bit more and then take a look at all the stuff that that can work with the game. Interestingly enough, yeah, I hope because very odd, no? The streamer bot didn't actually show a change in the title, but I'm hoping that the title comes in. So we're gonna be looking at some of your tactics. We're gonna use Roma to do it. Yeah. The goal of this show is not really to give you a rating of 1 to 10 for your tactics. More like, cool, nice tactic. Maybe everyone should be using it. So we got Roma here. I think we just started the season. Of course, that's it. I think I'm gonna get fired very soon. There were so many tactics, right, that came through, right? These are all the tactics that, wow, we are gonna get fired from Roma, man. So for once, normally we get a lot of these shows where your tactics come in. Of course, the rule is if it comes from Discord, I play the tactic for 45 minutes. Hey, Godspurs, you're in the house, man. Well, welcome. I'm keen on finding out from all you guys, especially I know Godspurs, you do a lot of network play. What are your thoughts on how can we improve network play? So let me know in the I have a post on the forums here. What are your best and worst features of FM24? Stuff you want to see on FM26. I'm eager to hear from people who are network play users because we want to put more of that in PvPers, network play users. You see, the issue is this, right? Okay, there aren't a lot of people within SI themselves who play network play, or and there might be some doing network play, but they spend most of the time working, right? So you don't expect them to be putting in the kind of hours that we put in when we play the game. So your feedback is going to be important, at least something that we can put our eyes on when we're playing the game. And as I do listen, do read feedback. So this would be cool. Things that you guys find that needs to be improved in network play. If you can, yeah, that'll be good. So I'm not suggesting they'll change it, but at least, you know, it's a beginning. We always need a beginning, right? So here we've got Foxes with a 4-1-3-2 wide. Wow. This takes 5-channel attacks to a new level, man. This is like immediately we have a 5-channel attack. Of course, it's interesting because you got 4 here. I kind of like this. It can work. Yeah. This guy's definitely roaming. Yep. Okay, good. Mark Tighter, Takada. Yeah, this is all out. Let's put, yeah, this is a very nice setup. It can work. It can really put pressure on opposition teams. If you play with a higher defensive line, or how high you want these guys to go up is going to define the defensive line. So the question then becomes this player, whether he has the ability to play the long passes or bring the ball forward. So all you got to do is make sure this guy is a good DM, right? So we've got Paredes here. Is he good enough to play the role? Does he have good passing vision, decisions, and movement? Okay, that's not too bad, but he has got... he can play in that. So we'll stick him in because Cristiante is actually quite that doesn't have aggression and is quite slow. Okay, then up top we got Pellegrini. Pellegrini playing as the AM. Of course, this position can be taken by Hussein Mawa as well. He doesn't have aggression, doesn't have jumping range, and doesn't have strength. Right. So actually, when I use players like this, it's more like I like them to be in wider positions, like playing like in these positions, coming in like that. They play really well in those positions. But in the center, you need strength as well so that they can hold up the ball and link up play with other players. Of course, we can try him out and see how that goes, right? Okay. Then we got Sharawi. Sharawi, I remember a long time ago. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this is how long I played this game. Okay. He was a youth player. He was one of those players that came through a youth. It was like we started the game at 17, 18 years old. I still remember, man. That was a long time ago where everybody was citing Sharawi when he was a kid. Back then, I think most of the older players will remember him. I don't know how many. If you're one of them, please let me know in chat, man. Are you one of those guys who used to sign him when he was a kid? Because I was. That was such a long time ago, man. Now looking at his age, now he's 31. Oh my god, that makes me feel really old when I'm playing this game now. Okay, so we've got a tactic that's got a Volante here. DM. I'll just take my camera off quickly. So we got a Volante, a DM. So there's movement on this side. So definitely, normally what I like to do is I like to take Volantes out of the equation, but here his tactic doesn't really afford him the option. He's got focus play left and right, which means that more players are going to gravitate towards the side of the focus. And then looking at his PIs, he's got these guys cutting inside, these guys tackling harder. He's got a poacher and a pressing for. Both are excellent roles in the final third, especially if you want to get more players involved in scoring goals. Right? So your poacher is really good. Pressing forward, he'll put pressure on the defenders and he will move into channels. Yeah, especially when you have multiple players coming to the box, move into channels can be quite cool. All right, so here we go with Hellas Verona. We're going to start the game. We're going to watch this on comprehensive highlights. And we're defending straight away. So we've got a corner to defend. Yeah, they defend the corner relatively easily. But again, so if this happens to me in a game, right, and I get 2 highlights or 3 highlights, in this case, it's quite a few highlights now. If I don't do something soon, I might be in trouble. That's how I read the game. Whether or not it's true or not is really up to you. But come on, man, 4 highlights. And we are watching this on comprehensive highlights. Okay, comprehensive is still okay. Sorry, comprehensive highlights is okay. You watch it. So you're watching for mistakes from your own team. So far, they're getting the ball into the final, our third, relatively easily. You can see that they are actually getting inside our defensive line. So the question is whether the defensive line is too high. And 2, What can we do to prevent them from running helter skelter our defense? So it's quite bad. So what can we do? So I have to play this thing out for, what is it? 45 minutes. The good thing about this tactic, it can be a good thing, is you can put pressure. Now there's a reason why I don't use this setup. Yeah, that's a very strong reason why I don't use this setup. I know when people ask me about Joey Go Smash, right? Why didn't I use these two strikers? In Joey Go Smash, there's only one striker. Why? Because there is a missing midfield player in your setup. You see, the problem here is you are not putting their DM under pressure, even though you have one AM there. The problem is the AM, your AM has to cover the left and the right side, whereas they have two DMs, so they can easily transition the ball past your 5 players in attack. So it becomes a major problem. So as you can see, even linking up play, we're having problems, right? So what can we do? Okay, we're going to do several things, but I'm eventually going to gravitate towards pulling that striker that you have. You got Poacher and a pressing forward. We're going to turn him into an AM. Right, so we get an AM. The moment we put an AM there, their two DMs are shut. And then the DMs run into trouble with transitioning the ball. At the moment, yeah, it's a 3-on-2 situation in this tactic. Plus, the whole idea here is you want to get the extra man. Okay, so football is about the logic that a lot of coaches use in real life is we want the extra man so that we can pass the ball. You probably heard about the third man runs and all these kind of things, right? Any person who spends even like 15 minutes on tactics, reading on tactics, they always talk about how there has to be an available player for the pass. Okay, the problem is you don't have an available player for the pass anywhere on the pitch. Okay, so when you don't have an available player for the pass, the highlights naturally show the other team, because you can't link play up. So far, we've gone from here and we die in midfield. Watch that. There we go again. There it goes, and then we die in midfield again. So I don't have to do much. I just have to sit down here and go like, okay, it's going to die in midfield. Okay, now when it comes to the press, you can't really press because you go through your channel, your half space. Your half space is too easy. So the opposition are actually getting every ball. They have a player in the half space all the time, and you don't. Because you have 5 players. Yeah. So if you want to play like a 2-striker setup, the best is still the 4-2-4. Okay. Now, if you want to have 2 strikers in this setup, it won't work with just a solitary DLP. But there is one fix that we can try. But it requires us to move another player into our midfield. But it still gives us a problem, in the final third. How do we shut them down? See? You see, the thing is, when you get here, that's when the problem starts, right? Okay. We got one long ball. Okay, we managed to get one. That's the first time we've seen the keeper having to make a save. So, the stats are just a reflection of the fact that you can't stamp your mark on the game. So, we go in here. Okay. This is the reason why I play roaming playmakers. This is the reason why this tactic, I play roaming playmakers. Now, the best way is, of course, to do this. If I do this immediately, what's going to happen is the AI is going to have problems. Without doing anything else, the AI will have challenges now, right? I don't do anything else, right? Okay, that's that. Huh? Because now we've got the extra man in midfield already, the AM tier. So when they attack, okay, they're going to run into trouble. That half channel now runs into trouble because we have the players to handle the half channel. Okay, so they don't get away so easily. Naturally, now we have a yellow card there. And now finally we got a highlight. I've got to take some players off. So we're going to take this guy off. Apparently, he's got a yellow card. So we're going to put this guy on. Because we got no choice. I'm forced into making a substitution when I didn't want to. Paredes doesn't matter. The risky passes doesn't really matter. I mean, risky passes just means he's going to play the true ball once in a while. It's just like, that's fine. For a playmaker, that's okay. It shouldn't be the reason why you don't play a player. Yeah. It's the reason why he's having this issue is because you have a missing player. So now the game has changed, right? So we've got some highlights going, and I just put these two. We're just gonna ignore everything else. Now I'm gonna take this guy and push him up, and I'm gonna take this guy and play him here, and take this guy and play him here. Okay, that's it. Small changes. Okay. Now we're gonna have another. Now I'm pushing another player into midfield, but this time he'll join this guy here. So what we have now is the ability to use half channels. So the reason why we play with the reason why some of my tactics have that fullback on narrow is because I want them to come up the pitch with the ball. Right? So what if you don't have the quality? Then you do this. You got your 3, then you get your 2, then you get 2 on each side. You can work the ball. Look at how we work the ball. We get it up the pitch. So that this is football. This is basically football 101 for managers, right? How do we get the extra player how do we make the extra player available for the pass? That's it. Now, I'm not looking at the roles or the duties. Here I think it is more pertinent to talk about a simpler concept. Getting controlling space. This is far more important. You have to have players in the space if you want to be able to move the ball. So we've done it without any role changes. I just went and put, one role change, the libero. That's because that's the only thing I can choose. But you can see now, we are able to move the ball from back to front. Now we can attack the halves. We can even go to the channels. More importantly, when we lose the ball, the counter pressing actually matters because we have the players all in the right positions. So this has given me 2, so I can use both channels when I move the ball. So when you had a DLP there, all right, the issue was never the player's traits. In fact, if you go into the game of Football Manager and start thinking it's his traits and that's why the tactic is failed, I guarantee you that you will have issues with the game. Because it can never be the traits. The traits are not such a driver for tactics that it's going to destroy your tactics simply because a player has a certain trait. No. The thing that destroys your tactics is if you cannot manage space. So if you don't have the third player available for the pass, bang, you can't bring the ball up. The AI is just going to do this algorithmic calculation and go, oh, yes, you'll have problems bringing the ball up, so we should show more highlights of the other team taking shots at goal. So I've done nothing, right? All I've done is just gone in there and just made a couple of role changes. So I just did this. So what's the difference between the tactics just now and now? Just like you have one player here. So now I actually have a 4-man midfield versus their 3-man midfield. So I have the extra player against his midfield. In attack, I have the same thing. I have now got 3-man flank. Right? This guy comes out, so I got three players to pass the ball on the flanks. He also has, this AI has 3 players that go down the flanks too. Right? So our numbers are equal, except the center, I'm stronger than the AI. So this gives me the advantage if I want to find the extra pass. So when you create tactics on Football Manager, what you absolutely need to do is choose your roles and duties and ask yourself, can I move the ball up the pitch? That's it. So now we're moving the ball up the pitch beautifully and simply. There's no I didn't do anything. I haven't changed roles. I haven't changed TIs. I haven't done any of the Mickey Mouse stuff. Okay, except for the libero. That's about the only one, right? Okay. So now we're gonna make a substitution and we'll put some else here in the center, I guess. We'll put Bowe here, whoever he is. Angelino is what? Spinazzola. I'm not gonna bother with the final third role changes. Actually, I will probably play a AP here, a shadow striker here. AP will drop, and then he'll give me more. He'll give me if I wanted to really go after this AI, right? I'll probably go AP on support or AP on attack. AP on support. Then this guy can be a shadow striker. He can come in. He can work with a poacher. This AP will roam. And then he'll move into the... So this AP now is going to go tick-tock everywhere. And we get the extra time. So all you got to do in Football Manager is not worry about... I tell you, the last thing you should focus on is on trades. Have you noticed I don't trade trades? I don't even look at traits when I choose my players, except, I don't really care about traits in the game, because traits, they don't kill the tactic. They just give the tactic a bit of variation. That's about it. What kills your tactic is if you don't think about space and how you're using the space. That's it. If you can do that, I'm telling you, your tactics are going to sink. And all we did, right, was just make a tweak. That's it, right? We just made a small tweak. And I mean, unfortunately, the rule of this is if a tactic comes on Discord, I have to let you guys watch the tactic for the first 45 minutes. Hey, JJ Avalon, how are you, man? I'm watching all your previous live streams about how to do the tactic. Awesome and helpful content. Thanks you for the passion for the game and your time. Oh, man, thanks, man, Avalon. Thanks for popping in to say all those wonderful things. I'm hoping that this is still going to be... I'm guarantee you even if we play any version of Football Manager, I mean, this is what I believe, right? People are going to say, like FIFA... When you play EA or FIFA, you got to relearn the game, so to speak, because of the stupid thing, the way they do the difficulty in the game. But the good thing I've always liked about Football Manager is this, no. In Football Manager, if you understand the concept of tactics and why coaches do certain things, the only thing you have to understand, for each version of Football Manager, is to identify trends that are happening in the real world. And see how coaches are playing the game, because those are going to get translated into the game. Things like the third man, the extra man, this is all concepts that came really to the fore about 8 years ago, right? The idea of pushing a defender into midfield 10 years ago, right? The whole passing together in close proximity to draw players away, right, to create more space recently. The third man, the extra man, all these are recent things, but they were introduced into the game. So when you look at this tactic, you won't see the numbers. It's like outright, you don't have control anywhere on the pitch. So my advice is, if you want to set something up like this, the best way to do it is to think about how do I, get extra players around the pitch. So here, I think that this is not viable. If you wanted to, you'd probably be better off just playing a 4-2-4 like this. Okay, play a 4-2-4 like this, or play a 4-4-1 like this. This is very strong. This is extremely strong. All right, but it won't be strong in network play. Network play, a smart player will be able to destroy this tactic relatively quickly. But in against the AI, this I'm not suggesting these roles, but this is just the way it is, hey man, am I right in saying that you're reviewing tactics? Yeah, I'm just looking at the people's tactics when they submit the tactics, and if you have any tactics, I'll just I'll share my thoughts. So to speak. So the link is in chat for anybody who wants to send in their tactics. So my advice is think about the extra space that you can use. I mean, I'm hoping that helped. I mean, even though we lost the game, but you could see the difference it made right after I made the changes. So now we got another tactic. Oh la la, enganche, pressing for inside for inverted winger coming in here. Nice. I like your fact that you're attacking very high up the pitch. Mark tighter is fine, Pressing for is just going to go into the channels and move right. Enganche is going to hold the position and not do very much. Double ball winning midfielders. Hey, baby, this can work, I know. Hold position and hold position. Oh, I see. One is holding. Okay, interestingly, he's got hold position. That means this guy, chances are that he might you might see a slight offset, in the two. Yeah, one's movement will be higher than the other. Fullback, clean. This is, I mean, it's interesting. It's got if you wanted to get an extra man in midfield, turn this into libero, both of these quietly become IFDs. You can definitely do that as well. Step up more. This is a very aggressive tactic. You're playing the opposition third. Of course, this is a lot of through balls are going to come through the middle. Everyone's looking to do wall passes. That's what this basically does. That's it. Okay, you do this means a lot of your passes are wall passes. What we call wall passes: go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, go out. And then you might see Mr. Enganche. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll play this. Generally, we have double ball winning midfielders. We want somebody here who's going to break a leg. Okay, break a leg with us. Okay. Yeah. If you can't play, dives into tackles with a ball-winning midfielder. Sorry, baby. Ball-winning midfielders love that particular trait. Yeah. I like high aggression as well for my ball-winning midfielders. You need, if you want to play the ball-winning midfielder role, you better get a play with high aggression. It's not a role that you should just simply give it to. I mean, my advice is use high aggressive players. Okay, okay, Luca, watch. Okay, all right. How do you know players are gonna start running all over each other? See, zonal marking, right? For a moment, this 1, 2, 3. This group of players are the ones I'm worried about. The center, because of this maxed out trigger press. Okay, so trigger press maxed out just means that multiple players are gonna react to something like, watch it, huh? See, this guy's turned his back, so 2 of them are chasing him. Yeah, that opens up space. So far, let's see what happens. It's the early days. I cannot make any changes until 45 minutes. So far, we haven't won the ball. No. It's all them attacking us, which is kind of annoying. I had to keep my hands to myself, right? I'm not allowed to make changes. So, okay. The other thing is, when you play a tactic or a formation, you better know if you are the one that should be winning the game. If I'm playing against this tactic, right, there's only one way to play against this. You gotta kill those wingbacks, meaning you gotta shunt them to the flanks. You cannot allow them to pass the ball inside. So, what do you have to do when you play this, right? So if I'm looking at this, you see, notice, right, we have no OIs, right? So what you should do straight away when you see this happening, you go to the right wing back, show him right flank. You go to the left wing back, show him left flank. Why? So they don't pass the ball to these guys. They try not to pass the ball to these guys, or you try to make it a bit harder. Naturally, it'll be nice to tight mark them, but you can't. You might run into trouble tight marking so many players, right? So from this, maybe you want to identify a player who is maybe in a holding position. So this guy is in a holding position, so we'll tight mark him. Right, so you're tight marking this guy. I'm assuming he's in a holding position. So you don't tight mark a volante, for example, because volante is your tight mark. You're going to be playing relay tight marking, as he passes through every zone. Okay, so you got Fofana, we showed him inside. So this is what you can do, but still, yeah, we're not allowed to make tactical changes yet. Yeah, so we are getting clobbered by this tactic, man. So what do you do when this happens? You gotta look at your own transitions, right? So we haven't gone to the transition. So far, have you seen a single transition of us with the ball attacking? No, right? That means you cannot build play out. No? We're having trouble building play out. The thing is, those complete wingbacks should have no say in this game. Because we got 2 roles in front of their faces. So how come they're getting the ball so high up the pitch? See, these are things that you have to address in the game. Because the 5-2-2-1 should not be giving you this trouble. So we're going to have to wait 45 minutes before I make a change. So ball winning midfielder already got a yellow card. So first things first. When you see something like this, you have 2 options. 1, you look at your duties in front. Are they going off on their own to attack? That's what's going to happen if they have attack duties. Okay? So, that means if they're going off on their own to attack, that the inside forward up there, right? His problem is he is handling 2 players at the same time. So every time he gets the ball, he's got to take the wing back and the central defender out of the equation. That's 2 players. So the wing back is on his own. Your wingers are on their own. So how do you solve this? The best way of solving this is by the use of the underlap instruction. Okay, the underlap instruction causes the widest player to hold up the ball looking for inside run, which means that we need inside runs. So we have to get our players from the back to support the midfield. So we have to take more risks to move the ball higher up the pitch. So right now, at the moment, we've got 2 ball-winning midfielders who are not a bad role. They are a fantastic role in a 4-4-2 because we use wingers. Wingers are deeper starting roles. These guys are like trying to do all the work in the center of the park, not helping our cause. So what we will do in the second half is to change a few duties. Okay, all right. So now we got to come in here. We got to change duties straight away. So these guys are going to go and support. Where I'm going to choose support, and these guys are going to go and support. Yeah, he's got pressing. Enganche is a terrible role. Okay, I mean, honestly, for a lot of tactics, a lot of people like to use enganche or try to get the enganche working in the game of Football Manager. I always say this is one role, right? That it should be shot. It should be killed off because it doesn't exist in the modern game, right? So never mind. Everybody likes that role. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be very aggressive now. Yeah, look at this. I'm becoming aggressive because I'm using inverted fullbacks. So we're gonna give ourselves plenty of options now. So I'm going to use inverted fullbacks and push them really high up with an underlap. I'm going to play our defense so the whole team moves up. Okay, tempo is going to be fine. Okay, so we're going to move up. And then I'm going to leave these two for the time being. But I'm going to push one of these guys as a ball-playing defender. And I'm going to move this guy as a ball-playing defender too. Okay, all right. Now we got underlap, focus play. So we move closer to the side of the focus. And then we're going to just drop this down. We don't need it to be so high. Okay, that's the first thing I want to change. Okay. By doing the... Oh, hold on. Do I have a much higher defensive line? Okay, I'm going to go much higher defensive line as well. So I'm now pushing my back line and telling my back line to support the midfield even more. But I'm using inverted fullbacks. Yeah, because I'm a coward. I want to start with that first. Yeah, I'll go to the next one later. I want to see how this looks first. Because you're using ball-winning midfielders. So you see what has happened? Look at that. Where is he? This is my inverted fullback. He's looking for inside runs now. So he won't see much because the ball-winning midfielders aren't going to chop up and go run up there. In this tactical setup, the ball-winning, the enganche is just a problem child. Yeah, because he's not going to support your attacks very well. Enganche demands players come to him and make the ball available to him. So that one didn't work. So we got to go. I'm going to change this role. This role is not helpful. Okay, AP and support. And then we can roam and move. Then you can move left and right. So we got double ball winning. I'm going to keep the double ball winning. But I'm also going to push this guy up the pitch. So we got a static midfield. We got extra man in midfield now. We conceded a goal. Excuse me. I wouldn't use double ball winning midfielders because I wouldn't use double ball winning. I'm going to change this role. I'm not going to use double ball winning midfielders. I'll probably just start with CM on support first. Okay. All right. Just let's do something simple. CM defense support. Or rather here CM support and CM defense. Just for the fun of it. Okay. And this libero comes up, CM comes up. Or maybe just box to box. Okay, all right, let's go. I like ball-winning midfielders in the 4-4-2 because it's flat. They are wingers, so they don't have to worry so much. No, they don't have to. They are always going to be players. You won't see them running to the flank so much. These guys are running everywhere because of the pressing. Okay, let's go on key highlights now. I just want to see highlights now. Okay, there we go. See, the support comes up so you can transition the ball. If you want the attacks to be really fast, right? You remove this. Okay. Now we've got this Paredes. We're gonna take him off and put somebody else there. I think we put Brian Cristiante. Angelino will come off for whoever this guy, whoever that one is. Okay, Karsdorp for Rasmus. Alright, let's go. Right. Okay, now I'm gonna get you to go up. Fullback attack, and ball playing defender. There are multiple ways you can get the transitions to show up. So we got this guy dribbling more. We got Pellegrini. Yeah, yeah. We're not using the flanks at all. They're just going. They're doing everything to the middle. And we're playing into the hands of the 5-2-2-1. Finally got a goal, but it took us a long time to get to this position because we got a lot of support now in the final third. So what I did instead is I just shoved the fullbacks up into attack. So the fullbacks go up, and so because these wingers are now on support, right, they put more pressure. I mean, because they're on support, they can help us defend. And also, when we bring the ball up the pitch, they will be in a position for them to receive the ball, and they will always have support. So now we are transitioning the ball up a lot more effectively than we were earlier. With fullback, you should have gone wider. No, wider just means I'm encouraging the use of the flanks more. That's it. Yeah, width is you see, when you go wide, your boys are going to take I think that in this kind of a setup, you should actually just play until here. If you want to use the fullbacks more, if you want to go in, if you want to use the fullbacks like a priority, then you do this. Then you avoid the use of, then you don't really pass the ball inside anymore. So like this, what will happen is, you're telling the team, I'm going to use the fullbacks and the wider players as a priority. I want the ball to be spent more time there. So if you are playing against a 5-2-2-1, right, you got to ask yourself, how do you want to play? Like, I have, both ways are right. I mean, you can use both, right? It depends how good your team is at passing. I like to use narrow because I like to put pressure on the center because I got good players. But if you don't have, then you can choose to play wide, but your players have to have good passing ability. If they don't, then you have to probably go on mid. But here, when we did this like that, it's basically telling the whole team, hey, you know what? I just want you to play through balls through the center. But we're playing as a 5-2-2-1 that's cramping in the middle. So we're basically playing to their style of football. So you got to like actually move it up to here, here. Here only if your players have the ability. I would not recommend this unless you got players who can play the passes and you can move up the pitch, right? If you don't, then I would recommend here or here. At least start. Definitely not here. Here or here. Just whenever you're in doubt, right? Just play here. That's it. That would have been the simplest. But again, this tactic, this role is a monster. Okay, I will not play Enganche in Football Manager. I mean, Enganche, there are some tactics that are really good. But, 4-2-3-1, they're a luxury. Because what you want is this guy to actually be floating, moving about. And they just hook around and just wait for others to come off them. So ball-winning midfielders aren't going to help. Now, Enganche in this setup is actually very good. No? If you play like a DM on support, right, and you play a Volante, now your Enganche has got something to do. Because this guy's going to come up. The Enganche is going to go here. So he becomes a very dangerous half-channel playmaker. But if you play like this, these guys aren't coming up. So he's going to have to look at other players playing off him. But these guys are running into the box, right? So if your team isn't very good at keeping the ball, like we were playing against a 5-2-2-1, it completely shut this tactic up because these guys are so far forward, these guys aren't bringing the ball up. So there is going to be a challenge with this tactical system. So let's see what we have next. Discord. Oh, we got responses to my post, man. Show reply. Let's see what they say. Mentoring is perhaps my favorite feature of the game. The old system where you picked up a single squad member to mentor us, that was overpowered. But the new one, the feature I don't like are the game generator features, negotiation, and don't know if Legends count as feature. To start starting ability and poet distribution attributes in generally way too many physical beasts. Yeah, if you guys, what are your best and worst features of FM24 and stuff you want to see in FM26? Yeah, post it. It's on the forums, no? Yeah, I put it on the forums. Okay, so let's see other tactics that you guys have sent in. Do we have any more? Nope. Okay, now we're gonna look at the tactics that I just shared the file with you guys, right? Let's go. Where is it? I gotta buy. Can you believe it? I gotta buy a new pair of shoes, man. Today. My tennis shoes gone already. Completely gone. Died. I mean, I would say died. I used them up so aggressively that the sole is now worn out, man. So I gotta get a. It looks like I'm gonna have to buy Essex. I like Essex, but Essex is not cheap. But it actually lasts for quite a while. So I bought this really cheap pair of shoes. Like it was cost me about 40 bucks, 40 or 50 bucks. Yeah, 30, 40 USD. But it lasted me all of like 3 months, man. Yeah, worn out already. Completely worn out. It was quite annoying. Wasn't that too new today? Too new what? Too new what? The tactics are in there, eh? Just saw your tactics, guys. You've just dropped in Corvus, Glory, and 414. Yeah, so we've got all these tactics that just gone in. All right, thank you. Okay, let's see what this tactic looks like. Okay. God, I think we're getting fired. We haven't won a single game. There used to be a time your tactics will see me get promoted. Okay, so AP, nice winger. This is a good tactic. Leave it. It's lovely tactic. I like this tactic. This is a very nice tactic. Camper, mid block. Okay, winger with a poacher. I think it can work. No? Actually, I'll remove this. Play this. Don't play that. Yeah, don't play low cross. Low cross, you go to the byline and do a cutback, right? So sometimes you got you can do like quick attacks, then you don't need that. You got especially got hit early cross. These are floaters, whip crosses and floaters. Run at defense, be more aggressive. Okay, fine. No, I don't think you should. Mark tighter, yeah, okay. Mid block, box to box, more direct, fine. Triple more, anchorman, libero. Yeah, leave it, man. Tactic is fine. This tactic is good, huh? Yeah, I don't see. I'll play the tactic just to prove to you that your tactic is okay, no? You're not even bothering with the players very much. Wasn't that too new today? I don't know what that means, Drevo. So we're going and then watching this highlight. We'll just watch it and then make changes on the fly. If you're a Discord member, then I'll play your tactic all the way. See, I like this. Yeah, so your tactic is decent, it's good. Yeah, I made a 4-1-4-1 as well. Yeah, so you can play poacher, you can play pressing forward, you can play target forward, you can play advance forward. Depends on, if you want to use pass into space. Yeah. So if you want to use pass into space and you want your tactics to go from back to front really quickly, then you definitely can use advance forward. My advice is advance forward. Yeah, because right now what you're doing is playing a mid block, right? So if you're playing a mid block, I'll just go advance forward straight away. That way your team doesn't wait. Because if you play like a poacher, then the whole team comes up, then you're creating goal scoring opportunities for the whole team. So you can change this role based on the games you're playing. So if you're playing against a really good team and you don't foresee too many goal scoring opportunities, use an advanced forward or a pressing forward, right? All these roles are interchangeable, honestly. These two roles, no problem for you. You just go. As long as you have the player for it, you can go. Advanced forward, pressing forward. Poacher, you need a really good player who can hold up the ball and then bring others into play. But for that to happen, you got to be attacking the team, consistently, right? So when that happens, what you do is this. Okay, so now I'm going to do poacher, right? So I'm changing the poacher, but see what I do next. What I've done is I'm getting my players. So this tactic has just become different. Okay. It's a mid block like you've done. It's a mid block, right? But when I get into the final third, right, this guy is he's gonna link up play, because I drop my tempo as well. So I'm gonna get others involved in the play. So then when we get into the final third, you can change. You can work ball into box at low cross because your players can keep the ball, right? So simple, not too complicated. So we get to the final third, we keep the ball. And then we go there, and then you can even like this tactic. There's a lot of fun. I've got this kind of tactics, a lot of them. Now I got underlap, focus play. So this guy, the guy who's really the goal scorer is this guy, Yeah, these two. Okay, so we got this guy on the right flank. He's a winger. He's gonna try and score goals for us along the way. Yeah, guy. I would recommend you can do that for your tactic. No, the link, if people pop in the link, the tactics go in straight away. Yeah. That link has been working for a very long time. So if some people have been using the wrong link, they use the drop, but the other link that I don't share, the one I share in chat just now is the link to use. Any other link you're using is not going to take you to the folder. Yeah. So you see, with this setup, right, you can definitely do okay. So I would not recommend that you change. So if you want to go camping, you can do this, right? Then you can actually go higher, positive. Pass into space, player defense. Player defense is just your whole team is going up the pitch, to attack. Right defense and pass into space has been a very good instruction for many years. Yeah, the combination. The combination is pulls players out of position. As long as you have an advanced forward of players attacking space, it's a very potent instruction against defensive systems. Okay, so now we have Tammy Abraham, Paulo Dybala. So you can see that the team has spent a lot. You see, most of the possession is yours to be had, right? So you can go up the pitch. Yeah. Now I'll just leave it. You can use poacher, advance forward, pressing forward. Poacher will work ball into box. Advance forward for very good, strong teams. And that's it, man. Yeah. So we get this kind of a setup with the poacher. So when you get a poacher, right, you can get your attacks higher up the pitch. There are more players involved. So what you got to do is come in here, drop your tempo a bit, work ball into box, go low cross, and that's it. Right defense and pass into space, extremely good combination. But only if you have players that are attacking spaces. Otherwise, it's just a waste of space. You need like wingers on attack. You need roles and duties that are attacking those spaces. And then the reason why this goal happened, right, is because of this instruction. You don't need it in a lot of your tactics. Okay? Invite crosses is not necessary. Yeah? No, work ball into box is just I don't use. The thing is, most people seem to think work ball into box just means that attack the space. Work ball into box is, hey, I don't want you to cross the ball as much. That's it. And with the work ball into box, when they will just pass the ball instead of just attacking, going down the line to drop across. So that's why work ball into box is work ball into box is very good combination. I mean, you have to use the combination for a long time. Yeah, I've been using a combination for a very long time. Yeah, work ball into box is not a good instruction if your team that's got poor composure agility. That's why you got to be careful of. So that's why you got a lot of options here. So what you can do is if you want to drive into the box, you got a poacher. Pop in a poacher here, work ball into box, low cross, drop your tempo a bit so you get others involved into play. Bang. Very nice. You can still play a mid block. But if you got a very good team you're playing against a really good team, right? You can play advance forward or pressing forward attack. And then what I did earlier was that I did an underlap as well. So at this side of the pitch, a widest player will hold up the ball looking for inside runs. So the widest player might hold up the ball looking for inside. The AP is got take more risks. Right? This affects movement as well as passing. Right? Okay, so this definitely, as I dropped the ball with this because it didn't really explain to a lot of people. They did it somewhere else. You guys don't have access to. And a lot of people tell me prove it. I'm going like, man, I can't prove it because then SI will give me a lot of grief about NDAs. So all I can say is that this affects movement as well as passing. Okay, so you got to remember this. So this guy might make a few movements, but remember this guy is a box-to-box midfielder, is going up. So you got players who are going to be making inside runs. So you got inside run here, you got another one here. So with a focus man on the left, the more players will keep the ball. And plus, remember, you got libero coming up as well. So you got plenty of roles here that can help you keep the ball. And this allows you to draw the opposition to one side and score. Bonuses, forget it. Avalon, all these, the team talks and all that nonsense. I never bothered. I've actually done a stream and I actually did it with SI as well. Okay, where I intentionally said the wrong things to my players. I'm 4-0 up and I tell them they're playing like idiots. We are 2 goals down and I tell them they're playing like champions. And my players still play the same way. Yeah. What makes you think that team talks play such a big role? They don't. There's a lot. It's just like I think SI cannot really go out there and say already they dropped the ball with shouts, right? So what makes you think team talks work? If shouts don't work and they follow the same principle as team talks, What makes you think that team talks work? Well, all you see is the body language changes, right? That's it. I've actually gone into games, entire games, telling my teams, and people have come on the stream many times, and I've done it many times on my streams, where I go in and tell them you're playing like Muppets and they're leading 3 goals per 0. Players all get angry. Then all they do is they come back after that and say, we don't like your team talk. That's about it. That's it. They don't like my team talk. They don't like my team talk. They can leave. Have a drink. Yeah, so don't worry. Yeah, so team talk board, all that, forget it. No, all that is not important. I know people like think a lot of things are important in the game. Trust me, when it comes to tactics, there are very few things that are important in this game. All right, AF, inside forward, inside. Okay, this is a bit of a funky tactic. You know why? The Volante is running up with the Anchorman, right? So there's a lot of your tactic depends on this guy doing a lot of work. Why limit yourself? Already got so many defend duties. My God, you got 1, 2, 3, and 1. You expecting these guys to be here, is it? No lah. Why centre back attack don't have that much ambition in life? This is like the most unambitious role in the whole game. No matter what you do, he never ends up here. He does, unless you're playing a very high attacking mentality. Now you're on positive. Are you willing to go on attacking and very attacking? If you're not, don't even bother doing this. Okay, so just play with a ball playing defender or white central defender defend. That's it. Okay, or white central defender on support. So this guy comes up here. Now, what do you want this tactic to do? You want it to create goals, but you see the thing is, right, you got this Anchorman holding and the Volante charging up. The Volante is going to go up here in the final third. And then what you're going to have is a very funky setup. Like, okay, this guy is going. So what you can do with this role is put him on support, sit narrow, Kaisa with the ball. Okay, and play him on support. Okay, then this guy goes on defend duty. All right, so now what is that? See, this guy is, what all say and done, he's going to end up here, right? So now you got Volante. Okay, now you look at the Volante. Now Volante is going up. This guy is coming here now into this pocket. So you got this guy protecting you already. Fine. So you got this. So what he can do now is this role here. Why is he inside forward support? Why don't you get him to rip the team open? Wing on support. Then you come here, focus play down the left. Okay? And you put it on mix. What you're going to get now is an attack where this guy is going to be scoring goals for you. Okay, so you can use this as a this can be an advanced forward, inside forward combination. Then what you have is a very interesting one-sided attacking tactic. Okay, this building up on this side to smash on this side. So that's it. Don't have to make any more changes after that. Now, of course, you can be more adventurous in the tactic later by getting this. So this wing bar support will come up here. If you don't want him to end up in the attacking third, right, all you got to do is put him back on defend duty. But then you still do these two things. Cut inside your ball, sit narrow. So he's always going to be here. Right? He's going to come here, then occasionally he might go here. Right? So he'll be in this position. This is actually quite a nice way of playing this role. So you got options here. So my advice is you do make a small change to your tactic. Yeah. If you make a small change, it'll be quite funky. Yeah, next tactic. Glory, 3-4-2-1. Oh, 3-4-2-1. Why defensive wingers? Why so defensive? You got Libero coming up. Oh man, this is one of those tactics that's asking to get hurt. The reason why is because you got so many roles that are sitting back defending. Okay, let me think of how you can. You got AP tier, you got this guy in the CM tier, you got no one in the DM tier. And you got this guy. I tell you what, wow, this is crazy, man, this tactic. This tactic is one of those, like, I want to attack, but don't forget. Yeah, I don't get this tactic, because you got AP is going to come up here. There's a lot of roles here that are just moving up into this. But when it comes to the transition from defense to midfield, you asking a lot from these players, and then you're still playing our defense. So I think this tactic should not be playing our defense. Go fairly wide. Fairly wide is fine. But your goalkeeper's distribution is going to be not to centre backs, man, to flanks. You can't depend on these guys to bring out the ball. You might lose the ball, right? So I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna use your tactic as it is and play it. Yeah, and you see what I mean. This tactic is potentially gonna ask for trouble because of the getting the ball from the goalkeeper to the back line. Yeah, we just play it. We're already getting fired, so it probably won't make much of a difference if I lose the game. Okay, so quick pick. And I'll tell you something. In this game of Football Manager, yes, choosing the right player for the right role is important. Yes. But, okay, you can still do okay in the transition. Right? But the wrong tactic, as in the roles and duties are not be well thought of, that can be more punishing than you can put the best place in the tactic, it still won't work. So here we're gonna go, right? So watch it on comprehensive. We're gonna watch it on standard highlights very quick. Saleh-Tana already got the first. So there we go. We can't get a ball. We can't even get the ball into our zone. Right? We got one lucky attack. The thing that you have going for you is your high risk. You could play on attacking mentality. That's the one thing you got going for you. It's high risk. That means we are attacking. Notice one thing, right? You got centre backs distribute quickly. We still play our defense and low cross. This is a high risk tactic. I mean, if it works for you, go for it. But I probably wouldn't use it. It's too risky. But I had a 3-4-1-2 that had double defensive wingers, but didn't use an AP though. And definitely no libero. So I want to see where the position ends up. Because we are playing, and then their formation, right? The 4-3-3 can't play because of your wingers, your attack duties. They can't build out their play because each time their wing backs go up the pitch, right? They lose the ball and then you can attack the space. So your defensive wingers get up the pitch really quickly. Defensive wingers are some of the best wingers roles in the game. They are. In fact, they are my favorite. Like, if I want to play ML, MR, I'd rather use defensive wingers. They are very, very good. See, why don't you just turn these two guys into liberos? See, what you should do with this is this guy. Instead of this, you become libero on defense. We got two liberos coming out. You got CM on defense already. This guy is staying wide. Okay, fine. This defensive winger is okay. This one is AM. Why don't we turn this guy into a poacher? Okay. Alright, get stuck in. This is extremely aggressive. Okay, now play our defense. And we're going to go distribute to flanks. So we're not playing any player or defense. So now what I have is a center. So this guy goes up now. So he pushes up higher. So let's see. Because we got the distribution instructions, right? I think right now. Let's see whether we can make this work. Because the goalkeeper doesn't have the ball. And then when sometimes the ball ends up with the defenders, they have to play the ball out, right? So we're paying attention to I'm paying attention to this phase to see whether it can work. What we need to add. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Liberos are perfectly positioned. The liberos are sweetly positioned. They're either side of the anchorman. You see that? Where your liberos are. So your liberos are all in nice positions, Okay, so you got this guy. So it's like a two-man defense, and you got three. So you got these guys. You got Pellegrini, Smalling, and Mancini, right? So if you're looking at, so now we look at the three of them, right? So you got this guy will come here. So Pellegrini will move up. So he will push here, he will push here, and they will be either side of Cristiante. So when we lose the ball, they form a tree straight away. Then we get it, and we go up again. See what has happened? Now we got a 4. 1, 4. So we get the 4 players. So we get these guys moving up. When Pellegrini goes up, we still maintain the 4. So if you want to play, right? So instead of playing play our defense, because play our defense, I'm okay with play our defense. I don't always use it. I like to, if I want my attacks to be really fast, the play or defense is the first thing I take out. So if I were you, I'd make a small change, like not too major, libero, just to maintain the same flow for your tactic. These guys can actually stay in the roles that they are, duties they are. Poacher advance forward as well. Poacher will link up play. That means the AM has got somebody to play the ball to. So that could potentially be another avenue for you. Yeah, it can work. So we gone into key highlights now. So that the reason why this guy didn't jump on the player is simple. That much higher defensive line. So you can either, because we are on attacking mentality, so I can't really go very attacking. I just want that defensive winger to get to the ball first. So literally, I'm playing now the tactic, which is I'm giving the 4-3-3 a big headache because he cannot use the fullback winger combination because our defensive winger is putting a lot of pressure on them when they play the ball out. So you see where he's standing now? He's standing quite high, but that's because of the much higher defensive line. So I mean, since we're going that direction, might as well go all the way, right? Much higher defensive line also means that the back line support the play, so the liberos are going to move high up the pitch. There we go. That's what I wanted. The moment they played the ball, our defensive wingers stepped inside and went for the player. So that's what we want. We want these guys to jump on anything that's playing in the half space. So we're gonna already. Pellegrini is crying. He wants to give up playing football. He's too tired. No? Apparently, we are playing at too aggressive a pace for him. He just can't handle it anymore. Now we play Awa, no? As a player that's 8-9 aggression. If there's anything that tells us this tactic is going to collapse, it's our choice of Awa. Yeah, both. Nah lah, Italian Catanaccio systems cannot work. And most, not really. I mean, you can play. I play a lot of low block tactics, but you got to get the high defensive line working. Yeah. You can definitely play low blocks on Football Manager. They work. I play low blocks all the time. I've done it on stream so many times. They work. They actually work on Football Manager. But the problem is when you play a low block, you got to play with a high defensive line. Well, look at the beautiful football on display, man, from your tactic. This is good, man. Look at this. We got this beautiful diamond here now. But check out how you can transition the ball. That is a sweet goal. Look at this. Right? We got a poacher here. He's going to hold this guy. We got this guy. He's advanced for. He's going to run. We got these two roles here. Awa is the AP, right? See, this is what I meant. When you have an AP in the CMT, he's going to end up here. So because he's ending up here, we have all these focus and underlaps all going on. And then we are playing on fairly wide. So we wanted the two defensive wingers to be the stars of this tactic. So they are playing a big role in transitioning the ball. And look at their ratings, man. 8.1 for one and 7.1 for the other. But that could only work if these liberos come into this pocket here now. So we're using a one defender system in transition. So I'm a big fan of one defender systems in transition, meaning that when I'm attacking, right, my rest defense is only one defender. It's extremely risky, but if you have the players in the 5 channels, then it's not that as risky as most people think, because I have my players in my 5 channels. So if I lose the ball, right, if I do lose the ball in the 5 channels, I can counter press it back really quickly. But this tactic will give as good as it gets. You can see goals, but you'll score a lot. You'll score a lot. And to make this tactic work, right, if you don't have aggression as a prime attribute in these positions, the 4 and the AM, then you can forget this tactic. It will never work. So you need high aggression in your tactic. Not in your tactic. You need high aggression in your players. But it can work, Yeah. I'm surprised, Salitana are not a bad team. They're not a bad team. So we kind of eviscerated them. Yeah, we eviscerated them. Look at the XG, man. 3.5 is the number of shots we had. So sometimes you look at your tactics as well. You come in here and start looking at the quality of chance. 0.20 was a good quality. 0.17 is good quality. 0.79 is 0.79. There are 2 of them more. There's another 0.39. 0.33. Look, if there's anything in this world that will tell you that this is a good tactic, is that the number of high XG chances that we created. We had 4 clear-cut chances in this game. Not 1, not 2. We had 4 clear-cut chances, excluding the 2 penalties. Okay, so the 2 penalties taken out, we got 23 and 62. Also high-quality chances. So very good. I mean, look at that. We got 2 clear-cut chances. There are 2 penalties, and then we got another 2 clear-cut chances that they scored. So yeah, if you want to, yeah, this is not bad. It can be a very good high pressure tactic, and it could probably if you use it in network play, it'll probably be. This is a network play tactic. You should use it in network play. But change this guy to poacher, because nobody likes defensive wingers in network play. Because they're very, very aggressive tactics. They are very aggressive roles. Very, very nice roles. Because they don't allow teams with fullbacks and wingbacks to operate very well. They jump on them. I thought because they jump on them, you got these guys in supports in these kind of things, in these kind of positions. I have a friend who's only playing with clean slate formations during roles and he's doing fine. That is possible because it's all about, you can play a clean slate formation and choose the roles that are suitable for your players. The game is not that complicated because all the clean slate formations are fine. They all been designed. They all been tested. The role combinations have been designed. Like all these presets, tiki taka. It's a clean slate. Right? Go in and just pick the players of these roles. This tiki taka. Or then you can go and preset. You can create you can't come in here and create one here from here, but you can clear this slot. Okay. And create new tactic. And then come in here and create own stuff. Then come in here and watch this. 5221 DM. Okay, confirm. What's wrong with this tactic? I don't know if he's doing this. Okay. But most people will set this up like this. But these roles and duties are fine. What's wrong with them? AF, DLF, AM, wingback, DM, ball winning midfielder, wingback. The SI did give some thought. It's not like they can randomly put some damn thing here and then go figure it out yourself. No, man. Everything in this game, all the presets have been tested by people in SI and by me. I tested these as well. Before they became used by the common man on the street, I tested the presets. Yeah, you can. You don't need to use instructions in the game of Football Manager. I've been saying that for the longest times. People assume that when you play Football Manager, you have to play with PIs and TIs and you got to pick. You don't need to, because if you play like this, the game will decide. If your players are good enough and they got good decision making, it's not a problem. It's just that people feel the need to. I, for example, intentionally play with focus play because I like to have a bit more fluidity in my tactics. But the thing is, you have to remember, right? A person playing a clean slate formation in a network play against other humans will not win. As many games as a person who's have a balanced tactic and they set it up to exploit. Yep. Space, not tactics. So if you exploit space, not tactics. I'm not saying you're gonna exploit. Yeah. So yeah. If you definitely can make it work. The game is not that difficult. People overcomplicate the game, and I've seen him too many times. When somebody comes into the game Football Manager, they think the whole they got their PIs I got to choose, their team instructions I got to choose. I'm telling you, every time I get a tactic from you guys, right, and the first thing I do is I remove PIs, and I try to minimize the use of TIs in your tactic, just to see how it will work. So my advice is, if you make a tactic, clean slate, start with that. Go with that. There's nothing wrong. It's the recommendation that I do for a lot of people when they first start playing Football Manager. I wrote a guide on that as well, man. Yeah, of course, eventually you get the right kind of players. The whole idea behind this game is for you to the whole idea behind Football Manager is sign players, put them in a tactical system and go on and win. And a lot of people can do that with just regular tactics. And no training, no nothing. Yeah. It's just that there are people like me who are obsessed with invincible runs. You see, that's a difference. You can win titles with the right players in your tactical system because it might take you a bit longer. But people who want to achieve the underdog story, people who want to take Wolves in their first season and win the Champions League, those kind of players, they will need to get that bit extra in the game. And that's where understanding your team instructions and choosing the right kind of players is going to be more helpful. So that's how it works, for me at least. Alright guys, I want to thank everybody who came here today's stream. This was a short stream because we do diagnosis on Wednesdays. When I take a look at your tactics, yes, I'm off to buy a pair of shoes. I need to buy a pair of shoes. Yes, plantar fasciitis is coming back. there's a bit of burning sensation in my arch. So I need to buy a new pair of shoes. And I want to get to the shop before they close because it's 7 p.m. here. Them shops will start closing at about 9. And I can go and buy a pair of shoes. A shoes, man. A pair of shoes. The only question is what shoes should I get? Right? So let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go. So the shoes I'm looking at. Gel. What is that? Essex gel. What is it? Essex gel. I am like, okay, what gel? What? Not gel Nimbus. Kayano is the one I always use for running. See, the thing is, I'm looking at these shoes, right? Because I use Essex shoes, a lot of Essex shoes when I'm running. Running and then all kinds of sports I play. So running, I use the Kaya. I use these. I use a lot of these shoes. Like I use the gel Kayanos when I'm running. Gel Nimbus and the Kayano. But they are not cheap, man. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh my God, they're expensive. That's in a local currency. Wow, man. Tennis. Gel Resolution is the one I'm looking at. Wow, the resolution is $600. This is the shoe that I want to get, the Resolution X. But wow, this is huge, man. This is good. This is a good shoe. The reason why I like these shoes is because these shoes, they last for a really long time. No? I've used this before. The Essex are really good. I mean, I bought a pair of shoes the other day. It was like $30, okay? $30, okay? You know how long they lasted me? 3 months. Hey, the Skechers last me 3 months, man. I don't mind Skechers, but the problem is Skechers lasted me 3 months. Yeah, so for me, I don't know. I whenever then I end up buying a new pair. So the thing is, when I use Essex, right, I use them for a year and a half before I need to buy a new pair. Yeah, the rate I use my shoes, I burn through my shoes very, very fast. Yeah. Running shoes, if I'm running distance, because once I run about 8 months, I have to get a new pair already. Yeah. I bought this pair of shoes, the Slazenger shoes, are really cool, really nice arch for tennis, right? Well, because shoes last me 4 months. Yeah, it is the sole, is the sole. I've tried barefoot shoes before. Can't, not for court play. Yeah. I need a shoe with a very strong midsole and heel support. I'm reaching the age where I need heel support. Okay. Yeah, no way, right? The way I run through my shoes. I don't know about Skechers, man. Thing is, I had a pair of Skechers, didn't last long. Yeah, that's my problem. The way I pound the shoes, maybe it's my weight. Maybe it's just the way I do it. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I'm not suggesting. I mean, all shoes don't last. That's a fact. Okay, there's like a certain amount of steps that you take. After that, the shoe you'll feel it. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I'm getting old. But those shoes are damn expensive, man. I can't afford it. It's too expensive for me. I'm looking at the shoes going, oh no. Yeah, white fitting shoes. That's why I'm looking at Essex. The toe box must be white. I agree. White fitting shoes. They work for me. Yeah, they work for me. It's white fitting. I cannot use the narrow shoes. It has to be white and plush and soft on the sides. Because it's when you play tennis, Kayano, I use Kayano. I have got a pair of gel Kayanos. Gel Kayanos are the best. I use gel Kayano. But gel Kayano is for running, not for like tennis. Tennis, you have to use gel Resolution. Because there's a difference between a Kayano and a Resolution in the way they support which part of the foot they support. For tennis, you got to support the mid part of your sole and your heel. Because you're doing a lot of change of direction and transitions, right? So whenever you're playing tennis, you're shifting and changing, right? So what you need is midsole and heel support. Kayanos are great, but Kayanos are not for tennis. I got a pair of Kayanos. Hoka is good. Hoka is actually a very good brand for running. A very good brand for running. Hoka is one of the best brands for running. Actually, Actually, I'm glad, no. I like say it loudly, I just might say it, right? Actually, shoes are meant to be wasted. You stamp on them all the time, just be happy you walk and run a lot and have to change it frequently. Exactly. Exactly. I agree with that statement. And on that note of positivity, I have to go. Because that was the best thing I needed to hear. If there's anything, say it out loudly, better not me and my wife. Better not me and my wife. All he needs to say something wise like that, I'm out spending money. See? Yeah, lolly. Terrible. Terrible. My wife doesn't like you anymore. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys very soon. You guys stay safe. Be good. Bye.